What? Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glitch. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
You know, I don't need you to point at me to tell me where to go.
I'm sorry.
Trying to be funny. I know.
Oh, you know.
I watch it. If you see, y'all probably peep that. Everybody.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. We're talking about Married at First Sight, season 16, episode number 3, Music City Matrimony. Music City Matrimony. This is, I don't know. I'm glad all the weddings are over. I'm ready for like honeymoon action. Finally, because the rest of this stuff is just be like garbage. Yeah. Not garbage, but it's like, okay, what are you giving me?
So we start with Airris, and we start where we left off with Airris and Jasmine's wedding, and his cousin Felina talking, and he was like, "Dang, don't you have anything positive to say? You just like, you can still run. It's not too late." Like, she was like, "Okay, yeah, I just make sure you stand by her and be committed to this black woman." That was what she had.
Yeah, but I know a lot of you out there is like, y'all want to know what type of cousin she is, because some of y'all think she play cousin, like she ain't really his cousin. Like she like him cousin. Oh. Yeah, I think she really his cousin. Just my opinion. I think so too. I think she's concerned about him. Airris is out there, and she doesn't want Airris to make a big mistake, because this is a big step, and she knows he's a player. And I think she's coming from the aspect or from the standpoint, you know what? I don't want you to break anybody's heart. I don't want you to break a woman's heart, and you're not ready for this. Or maybe she's coming from the point that I don't want nobody to break your heart, because you're a dog. I mean, we already saw him say bye to the streets. So she already know he's a street dude. So he likes playing in the streets.
But I think it's funny that Airris kind of tries to lighten it up. He was like, if like she's the total opposite of what I asked for, I might look at you, Felina, like, can we still go? Can we still leave? But we see Jasmine talking about, she's ready to, go down the aisle or whatever. Her dad, Andrew, shows up to walk her down the aisle, and we know that he's the pastor. Right. And, she said, now she's getting nervous, got the little knots in her stomach or whatever, and his prayer is that the guy that she marries will, provide a mate, that she'll be a helper, and, he smiles when he sees her, Airris, when they come down the aisle, and claps like, okay, yeah, I got, like, she looks nice, okay?
Yeah, I mean, she's easy on the eyes. She's easy on the eyes.
And so, of course, again, the family and friends want you to know about what they wanted you to know about Jasmine. Is she's a loving soul, and she leads with her heart, and like she's a literal cheerleader. She's a beautiful woman. She's got ability and dedication to love. Don't break her heart, or her two sisters will get you.
They thugs. I told you.
And they will.
They thugs.
Airris' family and friends wanted Jasmine to know about him, that he's super private. So when it comes to communication, he may or may not do it.
But he said he's gotten better. And I think when they said that, she looked like, oh, he don't communicate very well. Because we found out later that she also is not a very good communicator. When you put people who don't communicate together, don't communicate well together, it can be problems.
But he loves loyally, he's passionate, he's driven and smart, and love on him as best you can. They share their vows, Jasmine's like, the God masterly found another human, to do this process with. I speak to the king in you. I'll be honest and faithful, loving, commit to growing. I pray this will lead to unconditional love.
All this stuff is funny at the beginning, because when you watch the show play out, like, they don't remember none of the stuff they said. No. Like they said all this, you said all this savvy stuff, all this stuff because it sounds good at a wedding, and then as they go through the process, it's like ain't none of that there. Yeah. No, it may not be that way with this marriage, but I always think it's funny how they say all these nice things and give all these affirmations and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then you'll see that you hear crickets.
It be falling apart. But so after that, it's like it's Airris' turn, and he's like, "How do I follow that up?" And the pastor's like, "You better bring it." I thought that was funny. Yeah. The pastor was like, "You better bring it." He was like, "Love is knowing that you have the power to destroy me, but trusting that you won't. I vow to trust you, to seeing something in someone they don't see. I vow to see you, to be a teammate, not to get frustrated even when you can't decide what to eat, and I'll always share my food. That's
the man's struggle.
It's really not.
It is. We had that conversation.
It's just different ways of not knowing what you want to eat.
Every man that
we're not finna talk about
every man that had that struggle with what? Hey, what you want to eat? I don't know. All right, we're going here.
It should be what you don't want to eat, not what you want to eat. I know I don't want to eat fast food, or I don't want to eat. We just gotta change the question. But anyway, they share a little sweet kiss and walk down the aisle hand in hand, and he says she's beautiful and she says he's cute and easy on the eyes. They talked about the height a little bit. But she did have heels on, so they're probably more like the same height. He looks fit, clean cut, nice beard or whatever. And how old are you? 39. You don't look like you're 39. That's a good thing, and he doesn't.
Nah, he don't look that. He don't look like 39.
He doesn't. But he's an only child, but she has 2 sisters, and then she's got 1 brother. But then that's when she drops the bomb on him. But I do have 4 dogs.
Hold on, before that, at least Airris was he didn't lie. He said he does have single child syndrome.
Only child.
Only child syndrome, and that he does, get what you want, get your way, have what you want, and feel like you're the most important thing in the room because all eyes are on you and your attention there. So he was honest, and he recognized. I would think at 39 he would know.
So. Yeah, she dropped the bomb that she got 4 dogs. So she's a beauty pageant, the cheer coach. And she's also a dog breeder. Sure. And we find out later, not only does she have 4 dogs, but she's also got 9 puppies. Because she's the breeder. He like, good God. We up into 13. It got to be something illegal about that. Who do I call?
I'm snitching. 13 dogs. Yo, it's like, I can feel his pain.
That's a lot of daggone dogs.
Look at last season. Alexis had 1 dog. And my man Justin, not my man.
Problems.
Justin had problems.
Definitely not that.
Justin had problems, right? And so that's a long story. They definitely don't have problems. So you can imagine bringing 13 dogs into.
And he don't have any pets.
He don't have any pets. Yeah, you bringing 13 dogs into a relationship. Y'all don't even know each other yet, and she has to breed the dog. And not only that, their schedules are different. He works from 8 to 4, and she works later than that. So their schedules are flipped. This man's gonna come into the house and have to take care of 13 dogs.
Crazy.
Nah, I ain't signing up for that.
But at the reception, they sit and eat, and he prays over the food together. I think she kind of liked that. I was like, okay, praying over the food and everything. Is it any type of food? Is it any type of food you don't eat? And so then he's like, no, I don't eat no pork, no chicken, no red meat. She's like, wait, okay, wow. So they're gonna have to coordinate their menus, their eating habits too. Then later we see her 2 sisters talk to Airris. They talk about communication. He asked, well, is she a good communicator? It's like, no. She does. It's not that she doesn't like confrontation, confronting issues. And he said, I used to be a terrible communicator, but I've gotten better at it. And so her sister says, I just hope he can put his foot down when it comes to her because she gonna need that.
Yeah, she might need that. I mean, she gonna need somebody to kind of. You figure she's been a beauty pageant princess, so she's used to people pampering her all the time. Used to people gawking over her. Used to people giving her their undivided attention and fully focusing on her. Mm-hmm. I mean, even as a cheerleading coach, right? Or a coach, period, the kids give you the undivided attention. Even now, she's working with her dogs. The dogs give you their undivided attention. Right. So she's used to people giving her their undivided attention. So she's going to have when he doesn't give her that attention she needs, it's going to be a problem.
The one concern with him is like, I've been in relationships, but not that many serious ones. And with me being an only child, I like to have my space. So trying to work that out. But her sisters say, but you gotta be ready for our family because like we all be in there, so we gonna be in your space. And so he's like,
dog. Hey, look, I'm like him. Sometimes you want your own space. You gotta set some boundaries.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to set boundaries with her family, and
but he's also gonna have to learn how, since you're an only child, that we do group stuff. So he's gonna have to learn how to do group stuff too.
Yeah, but that's coming with setting your boundaries. There's sometimes I'm gonna do it, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I need my alone time, and so they're gonna have to work on that and create the boundaries in that boundary space.
We see Jasmine talk to Airris's mom, Lori, and cousin Felina. And, of course, Felina shares her doubts. This happened all of a sudden. It's a crazy situation. Came out of nowhere. Jasmine talks about the fact that she can be stubborn, but she's working on it. That's a concern to Felina. And then she makes a point. She was like, she is she's in the pageant circuit, the pageant life. So they're used to giving these orchestrated answers to questions. It's like, is it believable? Is it not? I don't know. And that's something we hear a sibling say about another couple too. I'm like, anyway, but I don't think they should use that against her.
I want world peace.
But that's what said she didn't say that, So, but anyway, what was the other thing with? I think that's all I had for
it was
Airris and Jasmine.
It wasn't much for them.
All right, and so the other wedding that we see is Dominique and Mackinley.
Yeah.
And let's see. So Dominique's excited to see her future husband. She's nervous but optimistic. And, he's ready to meet his wife, his future baby mama, hopefully. Her family's very nervous to see who this person will be and how they'll treat her whatever. Yeah. But she mainly likes older guys, even though she's young. And her friend Jada expressed that, I think she's ready. She likes to have fun, but you do like to be at home and do your puzzles. And they all get it. I guess that's a thing. Just a little chuckle they get that she does puzzles at home.
At 25, she does puzzles. We know people who do puzzles all the time.
But I guess what type of... We talking about jigsaw puzzles. We talking about crossword puzzles. Any kind of puzzles, I guess. I don't know.
But keep your mind young.
Yeah. And so we see Mackinley talking to Taylor, his groomsman, Tony, his groomsman, and Mitch. The biggest concern that he has is that he was vague in his description of who he wanted. And so he's talking about like tall, short, blonde,
and they took advantage. They took advantage of that.
I like black girls, like white girls.
I like Mexican girls.
It doesn't matter what kind of
girls. I like girls.
Yeah, they're like, girls. What if she's way out of his league? That kind of stuff they talk about. But
why would you fill out an application and when they ask you what do you like, right? We know we can go to the extreme where you go to.
I'll take anything.
Or you go to Alyssa where she thought she was weird science. I'm telling my age. She was making a person, right? And so she put the person in exactly everything she wanted, and she doesn't get it. Now she can't handle it. But I would give them something. He didn't give like anything.
He said he was very vague. But the one thing he said at this point, he says it later, but I am a boob man, so hopefully they get that. And later on he says, well, she do have that.
And she
got some boobs.
And they were sitting there.
He's happy about the boobs. But anyway, so he's like, to him the worst case is if they have two personalities that don't match. The type of partner he's looking for, somebody who's funny, genuine, career-oriented, concerned that... she may have reservations that he's not settled there in Nashville because we know he's from Michigan. So that's a concern. But he said what he did was he was talking to his mom and he was like, I'm looking for somebody. And he really made the move to Nashville for love. Even though he knows people there.
Well, we know he moved there because he was heartbroken because his last girlfriend / fiance, girlfriend,
got engaged literally on him while they were like dealing with each other.
While they were dealing with each other. So it's like to me, it seemed like he was running more than anything.
Her cousin Lanya and the mom talk about, which we didn't get this before. So Dominique's a country girl. What if he doesn't like to hunt? They like to hunt.
We got that because her mom was fishing and doing all that. So
yeah, but
she's an outdoors person.
She got the cowboy boots,
mud boots
under her dress. She don't have no heels. She got gold bedazzled cowgirl boots rather. And her bridesmaid Stacy is like, so you're not nervous going into it. No, I'm positive. I don't have any reservations. So. We'll get into it. And his mom, we see his mom, Linda, she said, I would have preferred a traditional courtship where you get to know somebody and everything. And I just don't want you to get somebody that's a diva or BICTHE in that order.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't want that. The one thing I want to say, I was like, oh, that's his mom. Pretty gray hair. Swoopy, go ahead. Go ahead. So when he walks in, the funniest thing to me is her grandmother, Leah's in there. And when she sees him, she's like...
You know what was going through her mind.
So it's a white guy.
It's a white guy. And I know he dates everybody and she dates different people as well.
I don't know who they date.
No, he said on After Party. I saw After Party where he said, you didn't see it. He said it on After Party. He also said on After Party, I think his mom or somebody in his family was going to pay him $50,000 not to do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not to go through with it. So they were basically going to pay his fine if he backed out.
Oh, wow.
They didn't want him to do it.
I don't know. But we see Toya, Dominique's mom, come in. She's ready to walk her down the aisle. And that's when Dominique says she starts to feel kind of nervous. But he breathes a sigh of relief when he sees her. He says she looks gorgeous. Dominique's friends and family want him to know that you got a fierce woman. She's caring, outgoing, bubbly, likes dancing, doing her puzzles. Here go the puzzles again. She's a volleyball playing, fishing tomboy. So
very
she's
athletic.
as comfortable in muddy boots, fishing on the lake, as she is dressed up in heels, out having fun. She'll be a very selfless wife, and she wants to be feel heard and cared for. Mackinley's friends and family wants buckle up. She ready
to ride. Dog.
It's gonna be a life of adventure. He's a thrill seeker at heart, but he's just as likely to like to stay at home and watch movies and eat snacks on the couch with you. So we'll see how that works. He's extremely family oriented. He just moved there, but ready to make roots. He's dreamy, investing all in and getting to the future together. And so when they do their vows, so Dominique says, I promise to give the best of myself and ask for no more of you than what I give. To ask questions, to understand, to grow, to be a shoulder for you to cry on, and be your biggest fan.
I think I think she's 25. Her mind is wide open to like, okay, let me jump into this, let me do this. Now, I'm always in the back of my mind when it comes to her is that she didn't sign up for this. Her mom did. So I'm thinking in my mind, at what point did she say, this is what I want? If this is really what I want, well, I'm doing it because my mom...
Well, she said she got on board with it.
Getting on board with it is something different because you maybe not want to disappoint your mom. When you really invested in it, the rest of these people are invested in it. They took the time out, do blah, 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 and did everything. How much of this is she doing it because her mom wants her to do it? She don't want to let mom down. And how much is it? I mean, just questions I thought in my head. Just questions I thought. For
McKinley's vows, he said, we're at the right place at the right time. I want to learn from you, grow into the best man, husband, and future father I can be. I've been searching my whole life for this lucky ticket, and today I hit the jackpot.
No, you try to throw that bad boy in thick.
Okie dokie. So they kiss each other, and then you have put the grandma, but we talked about that's the mother.
Yeah, it's the mother.
Leah gives Dominique's grandmother give the thumbs up, like okay, and then in the little vignette, they're asking Dominique, "What's your husband's name?" She's like,
Don't know.
McLinley. She could not say poor boy's name. Fine, she did get it right
Well,
eventually.
I don't know how long that was, man. Producer helped. She's like, can y'all help me out? She don't even know. You married a dude, kissed a dude, walked down the aisle, and you still don't. And y'all probably had conversation at this point because they didn't film the vignette, and you still don't know your husband's name.
But they have a conversation after the fact about age, her being 25.
I'm 34.
And he looked like, well, is that going to be a problem? She said, no, I asked for an older guy, somebody that's more mature and kind of settled, so I don't have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. She's not a native of Nashville, but she's been there since 7, so pretty much. Like I said, she said she asked for someone older and emotionally mature. And so then we see all the couples taking pictures, family pictures, stuff, and all like that.
Well, McKinney did say he saw nothing but green flags.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, he saw green flags.
All I see is green flags right now.
I don't know. I saw a couple red flags.
Yeah.
But you know what would be a red flag for me, though? If I was on Married at First Sight? And I'm going to tell you what's a red flag. and some of y'all may not agree with it. If I seen her get walked down the aisle by her mom, not a man, any man in her life, like there's no dudes in your life that you really want to walk you down the aisle. Mm-hmm. To me, I think that's a red flag. Not that I couldn't get over it. I'm thinking like, man, what are men in your life? Mm-hmm. Do you know how to deal with men? You know what I'm saying? Or men don't. So that means a lot of men have hurt you. So where are the men? You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag to me. When I see them walk down the aisle and it's not a man, whether it's a brother, cousin, uncle, grandfather, there has to be some man in your life who's poured into you that you care enough to kind of walk you down.
I mean, we can't get real deep about that. I mean, it's like, okay, to me, if it's nothing but women, like there's no men in your family, ain't no, like you said, no grandpa, no uncle, no cousin, like, where's the man influence? Like, what are you looking for? It does have an influence. So I can see that.
Yeah, for me. Y'all let me know what y'all think, but for me, that's a red flag.
Yeah, Dominique and Mackinley talk about when they're taking pictures, how they both can be kind of awkward taking pictures, you know, and she thinks he's handsome. She tells him, like, I smile a lot. I do a lot of smiling. That's when he makes the comment about the boobs, being a boob man, and she got that. He likes that she's quirky and genuine and down to earth. And that's when, he talks about the green flags. At the reception, as the families are talking, the one thing that stuck out to me is the mom was like, when she first took her to her 1-year-old daycare, it's like, where's her diaper bag? She was like, diaper bag? She's potty trained already. She was determined. I was like, good Lord.
Head of the game.
Well, her bladder was very mature at that point.
I'm still bringing a diaper bag for a 1-year-old dog.
I mean, you might, even for a change of clothes, not for pee or poop, but for food, throw up, something. But anyway, we see Dominique go talk to Mackinley's mom, Linda, and his sister, Miley.
I believe that's her name.
And the sister says, I'm always been his biggest cheerleader, but for some people, I had to kind of talk them into it. And the mom said, again, I would prefer something more traditional. This is not necessarily the way you would see your child get married, but we see Dominique. They also, on both sides, talk about the race factor.
It makes my
daughter's biracial. The mom's like, we black.
We black.
Her family black. You think your family gonna have a problem with that? Mackinley was like, no. We're real open arm people, and her mom was like, yeah, I hear that, but they nice and everything, but mass murderers are nice at first. Yeah. Everybody says he was so nice. I would have never known he was a serial killer.
They may say race wasn't an issue, but they all mouth kind of dropped when they saw.
I zoomed in on her grandma's face, but she saw him. She was like,
yeah, it may not be an issue, but it's something that they talked about. And you know how we do. We all, as a family, as us, we African American, we're very inviting. We bring you in till you burn us. We bring you in till you burn us, and when you burn us.
So really, we see all the other couples too. Taking pictures. Nicole and Chris talk about her touching him. Am I touching you too much? And he's like, no, it's fine. Just checking in on her is a good thing. She feels good about that. But she also doesn't want him to get caught up in the nice guy thing, trying so busy to make sure she's okay that he's not looking out for himself. And she said, I want him to know how he's appreciated and not taken for granted.
Because you can lose yourself in marriage. You can lose yourself in a relationship where you're constantly taking care of the other person and you're not doing the things for yourself. So you don't want to do that. Especially early on, you don't want to do that. Even later on, you don't want to do that.
The other funny thing with them when it comes to the cake cutting, they're feeding each other cake. She dropped some cake down her dress, and he was like, "Oh, you'll have to dig that out later."
Yeah, and I think you might get to it in a second. They both realize that they are talkers.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say.
Talkers. And no one's gonna get word in edgewise. Can you imagine? I mean, right now they talkers and it's fine, but if they get into an argument, like. That talking, that can really go. Well, Chris says if I'm quiet and I don't say anything, then something's wrong with me.
Then she had this whole ramble about the 25th. This the 25th and this the 25th and some number 25, and she went a whole.
Yeah, don't knock their wedding day. Cause
I didn't say nothing about their wedding day. I'm talking about how she went on this rant.
They got married
25th.
on July 25th, which is my birthday, so I'm cool with that. So leave that.
Let me tell you, his birthday is so not special no more.
It's always special to me.
It's like 20 people that we know.
It's special to me.
Now me, on the other hand.
It's people that I know. Don't look. Just because your birthday was last week, let's not.
Y'all see the birthday here.
But I know they got married on 25th. So you take the 2 and the 5. That's 7. The 7th month. I'm just kidding. I'm not even telling them numbers. I just
numerology
stuff.
But she says again, they're both talkers. That might be an issue, but she doesn't see any red or yellow flags for her. She chats with her bridesmaids, you know, how you feeling? It's overwhelming because there's so many positives, like, okay, when's the other shoe gonna drop?
Who else was like that? That was waiting for something bad to happen. I can't remember what season it was. It was just like,
I can't remember.
Something bad's gotta happen. Something bad gotta happen. No, something bad doesn't have to happen. You just have to keep going with the relationship. Mm-hmm. Don't wait for the bad.
She talks about the fact that, you know, like both of them being nice people and taking stuff off of people. But she said for her, it's like, I have limits. He doesn't seem like he has limits.
Right.
So that might be an issue. But again, she just wants him to know in everything that he does, he's appreciated. And so her dad sits and talks with Chris. And his concern is like, how you going to treat my daughter? What are you going to do when life gets in the way? Are you ready to deal with that? You know, you could be an axe murderer. You know what? I need to know what you're doing with my daughter.
Dad goes in like he doesn't know there was a process.
Yeah, but they had a nice little conversation. You know, it you know, pretty agreeable. But that they are the only one we see get to the honeymoon suite. And he carries her over the threshold, puts her on the bed, the infamous Married at First Sight, rose petals in there.
They're not red, though. They're not red.
No, they're pretty pink and yellows. And they were very kissy. Very kissy.
But she said she want to be kissy and touchy and then we can go to sleep. And
everybody had these conversations, too. All the different couples. Are you going to consummate tonight? What you going to do? How you going to do? And she was like, nah. A lot of the couples like, no, we want to make sure our foundation is not built on that. So, you know, just let's get to know each other.
Plus, she said, too, she goes to bed early. So, I'm reckoning they had a long day. And so, when you have a long day, that takes you to different places. So, you know, she scrubbed her makeup off, and there was still kissy, touchy-feely. So, he liked what he saw.
The funny thing for you was like, look at what he went to sleep in compared to what he looked like he had swimming trunks on.
I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm looking at if I'm getting married the first time and we meeting you. I'm going to bring I won't say pajama set because that sounds so old, right? But I am going to coordinate what I sleep in. You're not gonna just have to be the only person to coordinate what you sleep in. But
it's I'm not
sleeping in swimming trunks and like some raggedy t-shirt. Alright, it wasn't raggedy, but multicolored t-shirt and some swimming trunks.
It looked like outside clothes more than bed clothes.
Right, I ain't gonna sleep in. I'm gonna coordinate what I sleep in. At least for that night.
Don't bring that undershirt.
Yeah, dog.
Literally, don't bring that tattered, torn, and tattered.
Yeah. Wife beater, right?
I'm gonna make sure I buy some nice undershirts.
Some nice undershirts, some pair of pajama pants, maybe get some slippers, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna make sure that she ain't gonna see the raggedy shorts that she go sleep in, man. Come on, dog. Even in there, cause that mean y'all getting ready to go to bed.
And the joke, and the holy drawers men be wearing, but then you want your woman in some lingerie, like
don't buy you
throw them drawers away.
Don't buy you a fresh pack of drawers. Fresh pack for the vacation make sure you take out the bag, have them nice folded up so she don't think just go look. Well, I thought that was hilarious. My man in swimming trunks, and she got a whole matching outfit on. Like,
she looked real cute too.
Like, I'm just saying.
But then we go to Gina and Clint, and I cannot read your handwriting. I don't know what the heck that says.
It's chicken scratch.
Talking about kissing. I don't know what that says. Oh, they're tapping on the glasses.
Yeah, tapping on the glasses.
Wanting them to kiss.
Wanting them to kiss, and she didn't know what it mean, and they finally realized, that means.
I just be like, okay. Have y'all watched Married at First Sight even if you never seen it at the wedding? I'm thinking at this point we should all know what the clink, clink, clink on the glasses mean. That means people want you to kiss. Which it didn't work out for one of our other couples. I was like, wow. But anyway.
She's too particular. She worse than Iris.
But they had a conversation, okay, with their age and everything. But yes, it's both of their first marriages. She talks about how her last relationship was 5 years ago and how she's been building her business. And so she goes on and on and on and on talking about her business. And he was like, I'm trying to get past this work stuff. Like, I don't want to talk about work stuff. Like, I'm trying to get to know you. Let's talk about you. And she just went on and on. I appreciate that she's a businesswoman and she's successful in building her business. But, like, I don't want to talk about that.
But remember, that's what she did all 5 years. She maintained a business, and that's what she did until she got to the point where I can open a studio, I can travel, and now she's doing travel and stuff. So when you ask somebody who's building a business, what do you do? She was on the grind. She was grinding. This is what she did for 5. I grinded. I didn't date. I didn't do anything else. I grinded for 5 years, so I was able to establish my own business.
Yeah. So. We see her bridesmaids talk to Clint, and they kind of like grill him. What makes you think you're ready to be married? What makes you think you're ready to be in this space? And he was like, I've grown. I'm solid. I made good choices. Everything's in place, but I'm just missing this one piece. And that's a wife. So, again, he would go to sex conversation.
Says the man who slept with somebody like 2 weeks before. I'm just saying.
With who? You went where? But anyway, so that night, because they know he's a ladies' man, was trying to do, I really just want to get to know her. I want to do something different.
Yeah, I can respect that.
I really want to believe him.
He knows.
Again, 2 weeks ago.
He's been around so long that he knows that she's not the type of person that's going to give it to him the first night.
Yes, like, not that I'm not a sexual being, but I just want to...
Come on, he's smart enough to know he done slept with 65 women, so he can tell that if he was going to get it the first night, it would be on a pop, and that he's not going to get it, and he's not that smooth, so she can make her give it to him. So that's why he was saying, no, I just want to talk. And who knows, he probably got it from the stripper the night before.
So we see Shaquille and Kirsten.
Kirsten, don't say it wrong. Please don't say it wrong.
He called her, we had this whole conversation, he called her Kirsten.
It's Kirsten.
And it ain't Kristen. Her bridesmaid said it. Say it with me. It's Kirsten.
Kirsten.
Not Kristen. And I wanted to tell her and add in, it ain't Kirsten neither. No. But they were getting along well at the reception. How that plate of, it looked like it was caprese salad. Yeah. And they were like, what is this? And both of them like, I don't want that. I ain't going to eat that.
What's wrong with y'all?
So she's finding out a lot that they have in common. She likes that he's educated and family oriented. And here's where the guests start clinking the glasses. Like, what's that? What they want? Oh, they want a kiss. My wife is so against the kiss. I'm going to get to the root of it. And we like, she should just tell him, why don't you ask me? Somebody put a bug in this man's ear.
I don't know. Maybe it's not that. It wouldn't be that hard for me. And I'm not saying it because I watch TV. Like, if I want to kiss, can I get a kiss? Do you mind kissing me? Oh, they want us to kiss. Do you mind giving me a kiss? You see what I'm saying? When we like you never been to a wedding before? Like,
they really miss. They put context clues just.
But they act like they never been to a wedding where people clink the glass. That's like
apparently not.
You know that means kissing. So again, would you like to kiss me? Or what, can I get a kiss, please? They want us to kiss. Do you mind kissing? Those type of questions that I would ask, like, hey, and it could go south because he could be like, oh, dang, you don't even want to kiss me. But at least when he was talking, he had a good mindset that my wife is pure, she's virtuous, and she wants...
I know it's a deeper reason behind it. I want to get to it because she even talked with her bridesmaids and her sister in the bathroom about that. It was like, oh, Lord, sis turned her cheek. She was like, it was really mainly because of the bald head. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't ask. So, but I'm feeling more attracted to him with this other things that I know about him.
Yeah. The education.
And she said she's still disappointed that he didn't ask. Her sister, they sit and talk to Shaquille. And the one sister's like, I'm not 100% sold on him. You giving these politician answers to these questions,
No, it wasn't
might be staged.
He gave preacher answers like, the Lord, I prayed to God, and God said that I will be here, and it's good for me.
And the Lord said that she was going to be my wife. And when he said it,
he gave those answers, right? And so I'm sitting there looking like, okay, that's great, I'm good. but that's not you.
Right.
Right? That's not, and that's fine. Because, so, remember, if this is your wife, and I want to see later on, if God said, he better not be trying to bounce at the end. Well, I can't argue with people that say God said so.
Well, the one sister was like, I'm not sold on him. He is a stranger. When we see him again, when they, the family meet after, we gonna grill him like a rack of barbecue ribs. Yep. And he was like, I see him on thin ice with you and the other, the friend did the makeup. She was like, yeah, you pay paper thin. Paper thin. So like I said, a lot of the couples talked about, are you gonna consummate? And it was a lot of, I'm a follow her lead. Yeah. Some people said, no, definitely not. Just want to get to know her. Let's talk. Don't want to build a foundation on sex. It was, a whole lot of that talking. So.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. But even with the talking and all that, they need to have, to me, I think communication may be a key issue with them. Right now, the first date, she still gives me some ew. But
yeah.
I like some things about you, but that bald head. It's like she can't get over that one thing, and that was what Jasmine and Michael.
Yes.
And so it's like she could. To me, I hope she's able to get over that, and I hope Shaq was able to kind of read her in a little bit, and they can communicate with each other, and him not put his education and school and all that before his wife. I want to see him be able to take some of the things that he liked to do and just even kill. I think so. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, but that's it.
That's everybody.
That's
all.
I think. Yeah, we did Jasmine and Airris. We did Dominique and Mackinley. We talked about Shaquille and Kirsten.
Yeah.
We talked about Nicole and Chris and Clint and Gina.
Yeah. So y'all let us know what y'all think. I mean, as of right now, who do y'all like? I'm not gonna ask you what couple gonna stay together. I just want to know who do you like. Together.
I like Shaquille. I think Shaquille and Kirsten are good. If she can just get over herself and the bald head thing, like it's not that serious.
Yeah, I like Shaquille and Kirsten. I think they can, but I don't know if she can get over it. I like Gina and Chris.
Gina and Chris.
I mean Gina and
Clint.
No, I mean not Gina and Clint.
You mean Nicole and Chris?
Nicole and Chris. Yeah.
I like them too.
Nicole and Chris. I think they're right. Clint. I like Gina, and I'm not saying Clint's
gonna be a handful.
I'm not saying Clint's a bad guy, but I just see somewhere Clint can turn people off real quick.
He gonna be a handful. Because y'all saw it in the preview.
But not even that. Clint looks like he's that guy. Even though he works hard and he makes his own money, Clint looks like he came from a little bit of money. Yeah. And so he has kind of like a pompous attitude towards certain things.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Pompous. Yes.
I am. Look, don't do that. I'm a college.
No, I'm just saying that's not a word you always use, and I'm not saying you. I'm saying people. Yeah. It's just like what was the word?
I'm a college graduate. I read.
Give liberally. What was the word?
Oh, yo. Give liberally.
Your liberality.
Your liberality. My friends mess with me because sometimes my vocabulary, as they say, it's like an old man's vocabulary.
But it be stuff you say in church that you don't say outside of church.
Yeah, but
thank you for your liberality and giving. What? Liberality?
Liberality. I use that in my everyday speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Rest to your feet.
No, don't be liberal with me. You better not look. Anyway, his pompous attitude. Don't mess with me. Look, his pompous attitude may be what is going to be their downfall because he seemed like to me a frat boy, in an essence and sense. So.
Oh yeah.
So that's what he seems like. I think that's what's going to be one of the things there. I think the Jasmine and Airris situation. I don't know if he can cater to her as if she want to be catered to. I don't know if he can.
And I think it's a problem at 39 when you haven't had that many serious relationships and like you try to make this your serious relationship. Like,
oh, that's a good point, Mona. I'm get back to that because we both kind of cringe when we saw Airris said like, "What if you want to have sex tonight?" He said, "I'm gonna tell my wife to get on her knees."
Yeah. Oh. I was like, do what?
No, he said, "I'm gonna tell my wife to get on her knees." Like, dog, you just met this one, but it shows what he's used to. Again, I'm not knocking on Clint. Airris has slept with somebody 2 weeks.
Yeah, they both whorish.
They both. So again, the response and what you've dealt with and who you deal with and the type of people you deal with, you can't come into this expecting your wife to do what you're I ain't say hood. What your other people, the people that you did not marry, did for you or do for you. So that his response was terrible. And so
I was like,
so I mean, Airris. I think Airris is going because he's older, have a good mindset about it. But I think he needs to be able to understand where Jasmine's coming from, and can she meet and cater the needs? Can he meet her needs?
Interesting. Miss Barbara, her stepfather was there. He's pretty young and white. No one mentioned him. Yeah, right.
I saw that. Yeah, he was. Yeah, Mama's a cougar, y'all.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was funny that they kind of look like that. I'm like, but the man sitting beside you, that's.
Mama's a cougar. Leave Mama.
And Dominique's biracial, so you ain't new to this. You true.
Mama ain't new to this. This Mama knows what she doing. Why you think the daughter likes? You know what I'm saying? Mama ain't new. They used to having interracial relationships, which is fine. That's what they like to do. I'm not cool.
But that's why she can say, I know some families are not necessarily accepting of it. So how is your family?
How is your family?
Because like I'm not trying to put these paws on something.
Maybe Dominique's daddy wasn't. Her family wasn't accepting. And that's why they're not together. Or as Dominique said, they live in Tennessee, right? You're in Nashville. Everybody in the South still don't. I know it's 2022 at the time this was filmed. Everybody in 2022 don't accept that. We know we have couples, we have friends who are in a racial relationship, and the people still don't accept it.
Crazy,
right? Where we live, they still don't accept it. So it's like you have people that don't do that. You know, the funny story. You know, when they was in the grocery line together, he like kept pushing the groceries back.
No, our stuff is together.
Kept pushing.
What?
Kept pushing the
and
groceries
he got
back.
a dark skinned wife too. So the cashier was like, "That ain't your wife. I know y'all not together." Yes, we are. Put her stuff with my stuff.
So you have that. So I mean, people are like that. So I'm just saying, you need. And that's a valid question. I don't think that was a question to intrude or anything, but that's a valid question because it's gonna make a difference when you bring somebody around your family who may not accept that, and that becomes an issue in a situation. So Dominique and Mackinley have a lot to overcome.
Yeah,
they may be good, but when you bring family and friends. And I know people can open, that may be still an issue in this day and age. So we'll see how that works out for them. And I think another issue is going to work out with him that the dude don't have no place. Brian let's be honest, he living with somebody else, right? He living with another family. So when they come back off the honeymoon, I know they moving into an apartment together. Like, if we planning for the long-term future, where you going?
But he need to be looking for a place anyway.
Right.
He trying to settle there.
So. He need to be looking for something. So that's how that'd be an issue, and then the other couple I think might have some issues. I already talked about Clint and Gina, they're going to have some issues. The first one, we already said Jasmine and Airris. We already talked about, I think
you went through everybody.
Yeah, Shaq can have an issue because I think Shaq's just put his education before everything. I think his job is more important than his wife. We're going to see. Hey, would y'all let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for joining us. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. We appreciate your help. Appreciate you for watching us. I appreciate you for joining us. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great, great night.
Bye.